President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on Johannesburg officials to rebuild the city following years of poor service delivery. The metro has been plagued by many challenges, including a persistent water crisis, poor road infrastructure, and the hijacking of buildings in the CBD. Ramaphosa and his cabinet visited the city last week, and joining me now is the mayoral spokesperson, Chris Vondo, to speak about what happens now. Chris, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. I want to start off here. Today is Monday. It is a new week. And it also comes after the president spoke about the presidential working group that will be set up. For Mayor Dada Morero, what happens today?
Thank you very much, Aldrin. Thank you for inviting us. And good morning to the viewers of the Newzroom Afrika. Aldrin, you'll know that over the past week, Thursday and Friday, there's been a very extensive engagement between the president and the cabinet and the provincial government and the city to present the areas that are challenges that are experienced in Gauteng and Johannesburg, but also the performance regarding where the city is. And of course, this follows the reaching out of the executive mayor to the president for support. And I think the conversations and the spirit of the conversations were very positive, which led to the president launching the Presidential Working Committee. So surely, as you say, that it's a new week. We're looking forward to the engagements as a city of Joburg together with the presidential team and the working team to just look at the implementation of the establishment of the working group.
Yeah. So what happens today?
Today, the city is on the ground, and I'm sure you will also appreciate that the presidential working group does not say the city must stop executing its responsibility. Over the weekend, the city has been in the inner city as part of the work that the executive mayor has already started in the inner city, where he's driving a high-impact service delivery. Over the weekend, the mayor was in a hostel engaging with all the hostels, izindunas of Johannesburg, where there's been a discussion about the hostel redevelopment program, where the city was presenting its conceptual plan together with the MEC of Human Settlements in Gauteng. The work continues. Currently, the city is in the inner city, having launched that high-impact service delivery. For the next month, 2 months, all the 11 wards are being targeted for bylaw enforcement to ensure that we reclaim the city. So this is the work that we continue to do and we're doing. But obviously, the working group will then be able to look at those areas that were presented and then look at the execution of how the president is going to be able to support the city.
Yeah, and also asking this on the basis of what happened in eThekwini when the president set up something similar with a presidential working group or committee in eThekwini, is that it came with a new mayor. Cyril Ramaphosa became the mayor of the city of eThekwini. Here, there was a different take that was taken on this. So you have Dada Morero, who still remains the mayor. I think the MACO still remains in place as well. Was there debate around this at all? Why Mayor Dada Morero should remain in his position with the mayoral change, even though, even to his own admission, there has been these service delivery lapses that have taken place?
The circumstances of Joburg, I'm sure, were different to the circumstances of the eThekwini. The Joburg mayor reached out to the president, Aldrin, and the president has responded to that call. This is a support that is in line with the spirit of the Constitution, Section 154, subsection 1, where national government and provincial government must support local government. And the mayor has written to the president for the support, having appreciated that Joburg is the economic hub of the country. It's grappling with urbanization. Just for your information, Aldrin, there are 3,000 people that are coming to Johannesburg every week. That number takes you to 18,000 per month, people that are coming to Joburg. So there's a rapid growth population and urbanization that is happening in Johannesburg. At the backdrop of that, there are informal settlements. Just to paint a picture to you, in 2016, there were 155 informal settlements in Joburg. To date, as we speak now, the number suggests that there are 320 informal settlements. So the informal settlements in Johannesburg have doubled the number. If you go to the South Aldrin, you'll know that people of Pumalanga have been raising issues about water supply challenges and all of those issues. And you look at the South and how the South has completely changed. And surely these challenges that I'm outlining to you have an impact insofar as service delivery is concerned, compounded by, of course, the aging infrastructure. So I'm just saying that the reason the executive mayor has actually reached out to the president is an appreciation that Joburg is too big to fail. And in the spirit of cooperation and the district development model, we needed that district development model to be plugged in Johannesburg so that there is a lot of support that is coming from Treasury. There are a lot of turnaround strategies that the entity, the city has developed, whether from water turnaround strategy or from the electricity turnaround and the trade reforms that are currently unfolding debate in the national area. And how do we ensure that those trading reforms, we comply and adhere to the trading reforms, which we think that are a watershed moment that are going to help us to be able to respond to some of the challenges that are there. So there's nothing about a mayor being removed. I've seen your headline and soundbite, Aldrin. And I think here the mayor is very excited that the president has responded to this. And the mayor is looking forward to the support. I mean, if you look at the establishment or the announcement that the president has made about the working group, it's also going to take into consideration stakeholders, business, civil society, and everybody else that presented some of their solutions to the challenges that we're faced with. And I think we must admit that that conversation was very, very, very important because among other things that the stakeholders have said, that they have listened to the mayor, they've reached out the mayor. The mayor's door has always been open despite these challenges.
Okay.
They thought that it was important for them to also indicate to the president that they are committed to work with the city.
Okay. To what extent does the mayor take responsibility for the state that the city is in? One, because the ANC had been governing the city since the dawn of democracy up until 2016. The other part is that he's the regional chairperson of the ANC, so he would have been party to the decisions that have been taken around when the ANC had lost power, the coalitions that were set up. He was even the MMC for finance under one of the administrations. So to what extent does he take responsibility for the state that the city is currently in?
Aldrin, I know you are in the media space. I'm sure you'll appreciate that local government in South Africa has started in 1995 as part of the transitional local government. Mm-hmm. In 1998, there's a white paper that was developed and adopted by the country. And there were a lot of local government has evolved, and with the introduction of the developmental local government of the Municipal Structures Act, and all this evolution that I'm talking about. Joburg at some point was led by former Mayor Masondo. Joburg at some point had what was called sub-national councils or sub-councils. Whether you talk about Northern Metropolitan Local Council or you talk about Southern Metropolitan Council, there's been a lot of evolution about that. Joburg at some point did not have entities. As part of the EGOLI 2002, it had to introduce a concept called trade entities or utilities. They were called UACs. And these entities are the entities that you have today, which were able to strengthen the service delivery in Johannesburg. You'll know that Soweto, now today Soweto is a suburb. It's one of the biggest beautiful story of our democratic dispensation, that the government that was led by Mayor Masondo, former Mayor Masondo, was able to change the shape of a township. And everyone who comes to the city, they come to the city from many provinces and cities in the country to come and see the block approach that Mayor Masondo implemented. You'll know that there's a lot of transformation.
But Chris, I'm asking you about. Wait, Chris, I'm asking you about the current mayor. I'm asking you about the current mayor. To what extent does the current mayor, Dada Morero, take responsibility for the state in which the city is in? To what extent? I'm going to repeat the question.
Yes.
Yes.
Aldrin, you said no, don't disrupt. You spoke, you asked a question. I'm saying you asked the question about to what an extent the mayor takes the responsibility. I'm giving you a rundown
You haven't
because
gotten
you
to the
made a statement.
responsibility part.
You you
You
gave a
haven't gotten to
statement
the
about the 30
responsibility part.
years. You talk about 30 years. The mayor is a part and parcel of a collective that happens under a GLU, a government of local unity. 2016, post 2016,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of coalition instability. I'm sure you have that on record, and you know what has happened in the city post 2016 up until now. And of course, with those complexities, we are all navigating because we should be able to stabilize the institution. And since the mayor coming in has actually acknowledged openly about the challenges, he has been frank about them, he has been open about them, and he's been trying to do something. That's why he went to Lekgotla with all the mayoral committees in November and defined what are the basics and the things that need to be done, and defined the 3 priorities which were presented
Okay.
to the president.
Okay, so he doesn't take responsibility. Is that it?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But that's my
Don't do that.
question. My question, Chris, is that to what
He has
extent does the
acknowledged. What
mayor,
do you mean
to what
doesn't take
extent
responsibility?
does the mayor take responsibility and say that this is where I have failed as the mayor of the city of Joburg. This is where I have failed also from a political perspective, considering with since 2016, the local government, the local coalition governments that have been set up, because the ANC was party to that. The ANC was party to the mayors that were elected before.
I'm not sure how you define a failure. The institution.
What did he apologize for? What did he apologize to the president for?
No, Aldrin, don't do that.
What did he apologize for?
Aldrin, don't do that.
Okay, let me ask you this, Chris. Why was there the apology?
The leadership of the city presented its plans. Of course, the president was unhappy about the state of things, and the leadership has acknowledged those issues,
All right.
including the issues around the G20. And the leadership of the city has acknowledged those things.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Chris Vondo is the spokesperson for the mayor of the city of Johannesburg.